Think with an overpower and full backspin, there's a chance we get it close. At least give ourselves a chance to chip in. Full send it to the moon noobs. I wasn't 100% sure if 105 would have been too much, so I tried to just give it a little bit of overpower and make sure that we're somewhere up here. $105 was center green. Yeah, so 104. It might also depend on like where your landing spot was with the 105. Like if you catch one of those hills on the downslope, it's just gonna send you pretty far. I think I'm actually overplaying that. Don't think it's... very fast. I think I'm still just a hair short and low on that, but not a bad effort. We'll take the bird. 25 through 2, so 12 and 13. Definitely left some stuff out there, but overall pretty good. And we had that nice little eagle hole out. So tied for the top of the PC leaderboard. I think Scud's at 28. Had the exact same approach on 18. Regretted not partial pitching it. No, because I know my gap wedge. So like on a firm fast setup, roughly speaking, my gap wedge chip is gonna go out about 16 yards. So this is like just a hair under fast. It's still firm. It's a little bit uphill. I'm pretty confident with that. I'm more comfortable hitting the full chip and rolling it to what I think is going to be a pretty close spot. My partial pitch game has been pretty weak, so as beneficial, if it's definitely a play if you're more comfortable with that and you know you're going to hit your spot because you're flighting that much more of the break. TFR redeeming over 9,000 channel points. Appreciate you spending that time here. Thank you for wasting your points with me. Something better to carry. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely get where you're coming from, right? Like if you hit it, I think it's knowing where that chip is going to come out to. Right? Like, I think if you're maybe a little bit further away and you don't want to go up to a pitching wedge chip because you're concerned about, like, if you hit too far down, right? If your chip is too far down on that hump, it's gonna kill it, right? Because you're gonna hit it, lose a bunch of speed, pop the ball up, and then dribble way short, end up way left because you've just... it's popped that way. But if I don't know, I felt like I could carry it like to the crest of that hill. I just hit it gray fast. I think I'm a little bit short. I think just because of the uphill nature of it, I think there's a little bit more, maybe like a touch of D-loft or a touch of, take a touch of spin off of it. Hit it perfect. I might still be a hair low. But I knew where my initial read was that I was gonna be way too high and never have a chance at it. So brought it back in there. Yeah, we need eagles. That being our only one is kind of rough because we had some good looks. We had that 9-footer. We had a chip in, like, our 1 or 2 like near miss on chips and stuff. But we're 1 hole out. You know what I mean? 100% green and reg, but we're 1 hole out between the 2 rounds. And our 1 putt percentage is not great. Made our medium putts, but like we were only 1 of 9 on long from that last round. We were 3 of 10 on the first. I don't really love that we're at 19 long putts through the first 2 rounds, but it's tough greens. Like, this is definitely one that, you know, practicing and knowing where certain slopes are would give us an advantage. You only made 1 the entire tourney, Scud? I've had decent looks at least 2 other ones. Like, I personally think realistically could have 3 eagles. We had that great approach shot to 9 feet, missed the putt, and then we had the chip was a little bit less realistic, but we had that little, like, or not chip, that splash shot up. I'm not even counting that chip at the end there, but like the one splash shot early was real close. So we've given ourselves opportunities. It's just 21% is definitely on the high side for long putts if we can maintain it. So I don't know, looking at our stats so far, we definitely don't drive as far as people do. People overpower everything, don't they? I'm always on the short side with my stuff. But yeah, if we can maintain it, like our putting percentage is pretty good. We just have to convert the chip ins and like some of the other opportunities a little bit better. Just get better. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, eh? Always trying to get better. But I thought we were reading things pretty well. I think we made some pretty clutch medium ones at least. Some of the long ones are because we drove the green in 2 and left ourselves. Like, we've had, what, a 75-footer, a 76-footer, a 60-footer. Like, we've definitely gotten onto some of these bigger... Because they're all, what is it? Most of the greens are conjoined at St. Andrews, right? The 1st and 18th are separate. I forget what it is. How do they add? There's double greens for a lot. They add up to something. Like, is it 1, 2, 17, and 18 aren't, and then 1 and 18 are the same fairway. Okay, because I know there are a lot of conjoined greens. I think they add up to 18 or something like that. So like, am I right in that, or am I way off? I know there's a bunch of combo greens. I remember some video, there was a comment about it, like 8 and 10, 7 and 11, that sort of thing. Like I think they add up to 18, the greens that are, I don't know, there's something to it. I don't know the detail. They add up to 13 because there used to be 13. Okay, I knew they added up to a number. So that would put it at like 7 and 6, 8 and 5, 9 and 4. That sort of thing. Okay. That makes more sense. I remember watching one of Rick Shields' videos more recently where he was... I think we did pretty well there. Rick Shields' videos where he was playing St. Andrews and they made a comment about it. I like the par 3. I think par 3 courses are a really good practice facility. in a lot of ways. Hey, what's up, Pat? True Sim was pretty good. We shot 25 through 2, 12 and 13. Putted pretty well, I would say. But still missed a bunch of opportunities, but it's hard to think like we should make everything, so we played pretty well. We played pretty well. It's just, you know, it's always going to be tough when you're looking at winning and comparing yourself, but, you know, could do something crazy on the weekend. You never know. We do something crazy on the weekend, we might just have a chance. But I just have to personally, like, I gotta keep working on my ability to, you know, land the ball where we think it's gonna go. Like, getting those numbers right. So this is gonna go to the right and then kick to the right. Main events tomorrow anyway. Yeah, tomorrow is the day that's definitely a slog, but I don't know, it's also the type of thing, Pat, like I really enjoy True Sim and I do pretty well at it, right? So like at some point, I would like to win. You know, that's obviously my best chance, but a lot of good players. Like, Scud and Cabot are obviously the ones that are constantly dominating it, but Snoopy's been playing very well. You know, Lindsay can pop off there. Oobs has been playing very well. Like, you've got... It's no slouching competition just because it's True Sim. Says it's 1 foot up. That seems like quite the lie. Oh yeah, tomorrow is definitely a different kind of challenge. Tomorrow's it's very difficult and you wanna die a little bit on the inside kind of challenge. True Sim's challenge is largely the same every week. I mean, it presents itself in different ways, right? You're gonna have different green complexes, or that's gonna be the fairways, but the main challenge is sticking it close and putting without the grids. I've had a couple too many of those where I've ripped the stick a little bit fast. It's not what you want to be doing. Yeah, see, if True Sim I knew what the greens were gonna be like, we could probably do pretty well. But like, do I really want to be practicing? It almost feels wrong to practice True Sim. Like, I want to figure it out on the fly, but at the same time, like, not knowing is like a real pain point. You know, if you just have no idea what kind, like we had that drivable par 4, got it to 40 yards, it was 44 yards, played a flop shot, and it was like a foot downhill. gone. Like, those are the things that get me in the most trouble. Again, I did it again. As soon as I swing, I know it too. Glad to see that my distance control is in a pretty good way, though. All right. Trying to make sure that we keep our putting in a pretty good way. I feel like we had a nice go of putting earlier. 21% from long range in True Sim, I think could be better, but I think on that course that's a pretty good number to have. Hey, what's going on, Ant? Welcome back. How goes? How goes, how goes, how goes? Ooh. Little drivability? Okay. So if it's 11 down to there... I mean, what? This on the green's gotta at least be another yard, almost. So what, let's say 308 and then some wind. Big bounce, and then it's gonna get to that hill. Play a little bit extra. Maybe not. I think that hill's gonna be enough.
We are now the knights who say,
And 6 months. Oh, that's too far. It's gotta hit this slope or else it. There we go. So it has to hit that slope or else it's gonna roll too far. We will take that. Ant with 6 months. Welcome back. Hope you continue to enjoy your faces. Greatly appreciate it, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. This is one of those testing putts. As in it's going to test my test my abilities and my patience and nerves, I think. These are the ones that I think, because you have to hit it so softly, turn very sharply in the beginning. Oh, okay, so we're on the high side, which is good, because for that kind of putt, I think a lot of times I miss it low. So I added a touch of power, that's obviously wrong, and then the read is just a hair off. Hey, what's going on, Mikey? It's going well here. Just finished up True Sim, playing a little bit of Dirty Ankle Mafia to continue our concerted efforts to just get better, you know? Went on a little bit of a stretch where we would play True Sim and then bounce for the day. Trying to get in a few extra rounds, try and really, you know, try and dial in as best we can. I think that's gonna be the only way that we ensure that we're getting better. Uphill here, 7. It's gonna be back like this way. 9 yards to go into the face. Maybe a little bit of backspin. And the only reason we're playing backspin here is to carry it above that ridge so that when it does hit, it still has brakes, but not as much as that slope would give. And then try and play it just a little bit to the left so that when it hits here, it kicks back right towards the hole. Yeah, that'll work. That'd be one of them shots, I think is what they call them. I like that. I like that a lot. Ooh, another drivable. Are we gonna be able to make good on this one though? Down 51 would be, what, 62? A little bit of wind. See, like, if you overpowered this, then it's 40 yards to go, and it's still got some uphill. Got a little bit of downhill, but if you hit the downhill, you're feeding over towards that bunker in the middle. So that's there. What, that's 40 yards to go, we said? Try and partial driver. This can only go wrong, right? Yeah. Overhit it and gray fast. I don't think the overhit is the problem so much as the gray fast just completely ruins the line, but we've got a big backstop, so it's actually not that much of a risk for us to like really overhit this. In fact, we could try and trick shot it, bring it up that hill, and then roll it back down. This is a for fun society, why not? Just have to make sure that we're... Just don't get to the fringe. Oh no. I'm still way low, and the worst part about that is I added all of that and it didn't even make it to the back. Stupid 173s requiring exuberant amounts of overpower from the default. Jeez. Alright, well. That was many levels of bad. Mostly my aim, I think, because of the power that I thought I was playing, so I didn't play as much brake because I thought I was hitting it way harder. I feel like I'm starting to get a better grip on some of these braking putts. I feel like today I mean, even at the start of the stream, once we kind of got into the second half of that front nine, I think we really got onto a pretty good rhythm. Again, I think you want to play it so that it gets a little bit to the left and then kicks. Kicks back to the right. Might be a little bit too short. Yeah, I could have played that stock. So this ends up being a little bit tricky. Also, I think I'm just gonna leave the putting cam on until we get to a shot where we need to zoom into the green from within 45 yards. If we get any sort of splash business, then I'll probably switch it back, but otherwise, no harm in staying Staying in true sim mode. Okay, so little hook on the swing plane there. Somehow that grabs and goes in, but a little bit of a hook trying to cause us some issues. You know, the rumble never felt quite right that whole time, so I shouldn't really have ever swung that. Something was just not quite it. There we go. No more birdies, only eagles. Birdies aren't my friend anymore. Isn't there's some like meme format like that, right? Where it's like this simple betrayal and then they're now aligned or in favor of something else. I don't know. I feel like I've heard something like that before. I just don't remember exactly what it is. Also, what is this song? The song feels like it's from like the soundtrack from like some sort of pixel game. Not quite Stardew Valley, but something along that line. It's like a very cutesy tune. Alright, so pin high a little bit short. Something like here. And then it's downhill, so more. Still don't think I played it enough to the left. No, I did not. And played it too short. Gosh darn. Of course we have to make it. I don't really love, I don't know if it's just because of how far back in the stance it is. Can't really say though that I love the way that this looks like it's gonna just rocket out to the right. Well, I shanked it. I would have loved to have seen what it would have done. I don't know, maybe it was gonna come out pretty far to the right. Alright. We learned our lesson at St. Andrews that downhill... Was it St. Andrews? Or no, maybe it was the... It wasn't there. We learned at the special event when we warmed up today. Or we were very much so reminded that the downhill kick is brutal. So, definitely have to be mindful. I don't think it's gonna quite get 40, but I do think that I need to play 3-iron overpowered to get to the green. I gotta stop doing that. Let's pull to the left. Yeah, I think if I go up a club, I'm probably into some deep, deep trouble. Okay. I gotta, like, reset myself, because I keep saying about that shank, and then I do it over and over and over again. Just keep your thumb more to the right. That's all you gotta do. More to the right. Stop. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think when I get faster with it, that's what happens. No bueno. No bueno. Something like this. Hello.
Hi. So there's a thunderstorm that's about to happen.
I hear it.
Someone is trimming their hedges currently. And like they are really speeding through trying to get it done before the rain comes.
Well, naturally.
I think it's funny. Can you see me? Or am I kind of see-through? I'm kind of see-through.
You're kind of see-through.
Yeah.
Not quite, but you're
So
definitely more translucent color because you can see through it a bit. Yeah, I heard it a little bit, and I think just
lightning and such.
Yeah, like not too long ago, there was like a quick flicker. It didn't take anything out, but I was like, uh-oh.
I don't want to make food, but I'm going to. That means I don't need to make food for the next 2 days.
It's like, do I want to suffer now or later?
Yeah.
I want to drive this, but I don't think I should.
Also don't.
Unless. Do you think if I hit it here?
Hit a good bounce, but what if it gets a bad bounce?
Like, you'd have to hit it here, there, and then it spits out from... You'd almost have to get it up high enough that when
How far is it to there?
About 245 or so.
Well, what's your next club look like? Oh, you're saying you
I'm
want to
between
hit a
3
drive?
wood or driver. I think 3 wood with... We're gonna try it. So why not? Feels like it's drifting too far left and it's not gonna get enough of a kick forward. That's accurate. Could have overpowered it. Thought it was gonna get a little bit more. Oh well, now the problem just becomes I can't see anything. Minor problem, but one nonetheless. I have no idea what this lie looks like. I gotta assume that it's way to the right. I was correct. I should have just laid up. I should have just laid up and played this as a full shot coming back in then. Everything about this has been regrettable. Except that. Except that. That's a save. All right. So at least the short game reads have been pretty good. My ability to hit exact partial powers, not as great, but green reads are... And I think it's one of those things that I think goes really hand in hand. Short game reads and your putting. I mean, they're largely related. That felt nice and smooth. It's drifting a little further right than I would have liked, but that's a nice kick. That's a nice shot. All right. We take those as well. Sometimes lucky, right? That's the slogan. Actually, you know what? I think this is going to be okay. I was a little bit concerned about it, but I think we're probably at a point where it either gets way up high enough that we've got just like a straight up gap wedge pitch in, or we can, oh wow, it's even shorter than that. I was gonna say you could play, oh, now that I'm looking at it, you couldn't really play a lob wedge to spin it back. That would not have worked out very well, huh? Okay, I think we're gonna have to play a good amount of D-loft, but then I'm still gonna try and check it a little bit. Not gonna play for the rollout shot, just gonna play for the hop and stop. Try and get ourselves up to the hole. Okay, good to know also that that's more wind read is necessary in that situation. I don't think you have to play that much backspin to get it to stop. And now all we need is, yeah, just to be a little bit left so that it runs left to right. Might be too far left to right. A little bit right to left. You don't want to play this too... I don't want to play it too close because it is going to bounce. I think this will be good. I almost need to start playing those really short ones for the gray fast because it's so hard to hit tempo and that short of a power because it's just such a slow cadence. But I also just feel like I've been like sped way up on those recently, and I think that's why, or part of the reason why I've had some issues with like partial pitch shots. I don't think there's a way to get at this because of the way that these all kick. Like, unless you hit it like dead on here. Which, why not? We're gonna try and do that. Just barely gray fast. It's on a good line, it's just long. Overhit it. Find the bowl, go to the back and just run yourself back down. Come on. Come on, don't touch, come back. Yeah, down the hill. A little more speed would have been nice, but, you know. Play to the bowl. Bowls are good for scoring. Bowls are very, very good for scoring. So we know that it's gonna turn, right? Like, you're hitting it very lightly. How much is it turning? Just a little less than that, right? Don't miss low. Go in the hole. Yeah, just like that. Reading putts. Imagine. Imagine reading putts. Nice. Alright, par 3 to finish. And naturally, this is right where a 215 3-iron would be. Close to perfection. So we're gonna have to play a bit of a shape shot here. There's a chance that I played too much shape and that it ends up too short. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're hoping for. I played on the what I thought was the side of caution, just barely hold on top there. I didn't want to draw it too much to the right and hit that and get flung off, but could have really needed to play a little bit more. Okay. Can we get this read right? Definitely feel like we need a lot more than what I'm giving it at the moment. Something dialed in. Something dialed in with the putting, because I gotta see the putting stats on that. We made some really good reads and also just kind of entirely obliterated the leaderboard. That was kind of nuts. Yeah, 6 of 6 medium, 2 of 4 long. Some solid stuff right there. Also helps that you pull out 3 times, you know? All right. High winds, firm, fast. So this round should definitely be more interesting on the headwind holes. Tailwind, we probably get more opportunities to drive the green, which is basically everyone's dream, right? 14, 24, a little bit. I think even with the full overpower, you're still not quite there, so. I'm gonna just play the hybrid here, because it's downhill, downwind. Like, this should hit and should get a decent way down. If I take my 3-wood, I'm just a little bit nervous about going too long. So we'll take this. Now, these do present some interesting and tougher situations because of tailwinds with shorter clubs. Like, they do become difficult as well because everything wants to bounce. So when you have the front tucked pin and nowhere to release and run out, this definitely becomes a less than ideal situation. 47. That gives us 100% lie, which is pretty good to know. Probably is playing somewhere in here. 6 yards is still gonna be quite a bit. I think I give it something like that. Everything's gonna be feeding. I think it's okay if you hit in the rough a little bit and then pop out. Just gotta get left enough. Wind turned a little bit to be longer. Yeah. That's just always gonna be a tough one. There's not really anything that I'm ever gonna look at with that. I don't think that's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Broke a little bit more too soon. I don't think that mattered though. I think the power that I played that to, I played that with a little bit more pace to finish, but it's downhill. I'm taking off. That's just kind of a dumb thing. I'm thinking it's gonna hold straight line for a bit longer, which is just abso-freaking-lutely not the case. It's gonna be close. I think you just play enough to just sit it. A little bit to the right, but if the distance is good, then we're fine. It's a little long. Hey, what's up, Posy? Looking good? No, you. How you doing, man? I haven't been able to pop in a while. I saw you were playing some ESO, though. Which is a blast from my past. I haven't played ESO since God knows when. At least 5 years is the last time I picked it up. But I remember playing that. I played the crap out of that the summer it came out on console. Or on Xbox. I guess it was out on... Was it on PC first or PS4 first? But when it came to Xbox, oh. I played the crap out of it. Me, my cousin, and his friend, we would play almost every night. And then when my cousin's friend stopped playing and we lost our healer... Maybe it was two of his friends? I think it was me, my cousin, two of his friends, and I think as soon as our healer stopped playing and they didn't really have the dungeon finder stuff, that was pretty much the end of that. Just didn't quite break as much at the start there. It's fun. It's definitely fun. I don't know what they've done to it since. The hard part for me with ESO, and I think a lot of those types of games in general, is there's a ton of story stuff to it that I feel like I want to know the lore of and go through, but also I want to do the quests in the dungeons, so it's very much so just a lot of spamming the dialogue. Which I think is... I feel bad because, like, you know, devs and writers and all that stuff, like, there's a lot of time that goes into it, and I'm just, like, gung-ho on spamming my way through. You know, I want to do the quests, I want to do the dungeons, I want to level up. If I'm reading this stuff, I'm almost wasting my time in a way. Like, at least that's how it feels. Like, I'm not that I'm wasting my time, but that I'm being inefficient with the gameplay. Questing currently chilling. It's the way to do it, man. Just like, you got free time and just, a lot of times this stuff's not super intense. As long as you're not dungeoning, then like the quests are gonna be not always mindless, but fairly. You're just, you know, going through to get the stuff done to get your rewards and everything. Well, that feels like I'm playing that too far. Big kick forward and then stop. Nice. That's what we like. There it is. Alright. So we're already well behind the pace of last round. I know it's a steep ask to go 19 under, but, you know, gotta try. You gotta try. Just gotta give it a good effort. I am probably gonna partial this into a really bad situation, but I want to do it. So front edge here is basically 300. So in order to hit 300, I'm gonna need 288, 278, downhill this much, probably about 275, which is like, what, partial it back here? Well, I hit the right power, but I'm gonna go into the nothing. That partial is just so tough. So freaking tough to hit. Oh, that's long, is it? You play it out of that, alright. You just gotta go for this and hope that things don't go completely to crap. Yeah, it's gonna be long. I'm not gonna try and partial that though into the downslope. Just get it on the green. Go through the story if you feel like continuing playing. There's time for dungeons and trials and all that grindy stuff. Love the story. Yeah, like I enjoy it, and I don't know how much you've played of like previous Elder Scrolls games, but I think it's really cool how they incorporate things. Like I've only played Oblivion and Skyrim, so I definitely don't have the full breadth of things. But I think mechanically it's pretty fun. Which in its own merit is what you really need, right? But then the lore and everything is an added bonus. So it ends up being fun, the little callbacks, right, to like the Wabbajack and different goofy things that and people that you've encountered in previous games. I think the last thing that I played was I think I have the Morrowind expansion. I think that was the last one. I think that's the last thing that I had played. So, dating myself a good bit with that, but Grace Slow is gonna take us a bit right. Not bad, but it's just such a tight squeeze there. The Daedra, yeah. Oh, it's been so long since I played Elder Scrolls stuff. Oh, that was loud. I don't know if I'll get into Elder Scrolls 6 when that finally comes around, because I just don't know if it's... I don't know, the open world RPG... It doesn't quite, for the most part, it's not quite my thing anymore. I remember when I played Skyrim, though, that was like... Skyrim, like, that's all I wanted from that point on, was just, like, big story mode, open world RPG. Really enjoyed Elden Ring, but that's obviously way different, and it's more Souls combat and stuff. Shiogora, yeah, that's the name. It's funny how certain names, like, just, they stick with you, and you hear it, you're like, yep. Thanks, TFR. Yeah, that was a nice big one. Up the hill, around the way. Been putting pretty well today, like, no word of a lie, is some of the best putting I feel like I've had in a long, long time. See, it's a big uphill. Overpowered, yeah, that's not gonna cut it. But I don't feel like we have to go that much further to get this there. These partial drivers are interesting. I'm either hitting tempo and overhitting the power, or I'm hitting the perfect power and then completely... That's coming back down. That's close. Yeah, I'm either missing the power and hitting the tempo, or hitting the tempo, missing the power. It's not a great relationship. Oh, I hit it too hard. I was downhill behind. I was like, how did I overhit it by that much? It's not really that I overhit it by that much. It's just not a lot of room for error. And then, of course, I don't hit it with enough power going back the other way, because that hill is a hell of a lot scarier than the one we just went down. Tough to take the 3-putt there, but honestly a quite understandable situation. This is gonna be short and into the uphill, so I gotta give this... I'm gonna give it a little D-loft. Because I think when it hits, it's gonna stop pretty quick with this hill. Yeah. Yeah, when you've got everything is forcing you in the opposite direction that you're flying from, it just puts the brakes on. Hey, what's going on, Chan? This course is Rocosa Caliente. So, I believe this is just an adventure course. I think it's only par 3s and par 4s, and most of the par 4s are drivable. So it's a little bit of a gimmicky course, but they're fun to play every once in a while. Gives you an opportunity to experiment with some shots with your, creative shots with your driver in long woods, and try and run up a high score because you're always close to the green. Let's see here. Wind in the face. Say this plays 18 yards off, 227, 222. Plug it right into there. Maybe a little bit of backspin. Try and carry it a little bit further. Is it gonna be go? Oh, it's gonna be longer than I thought. Just a couple yards further. But I think... I don't know. I think I'd rather this than risk hitting that front edge. Because if we hit that front edge, it might just die, because everything's into the face there. Yeah, no worries, Chan. And so the thing is, so this society is called Dirty Ankle Mafia. They run it, I believe, on all 3 platforms. And when they do have a season going, which obviously they do right now, they rotate each week between a par 3 course, an adventure course, as they call these sorts of par 3, par 4, drivable par 4 kind of situations, and mini golf courses. So I don't really play the mini golf stuff. They are really nice courses and really cool, but I just don't play in those because it's not what I want to be doing. But the par 3s and the adventure courses are a lot of fun to play, and a lot of times they're like re-teeings of other courses that they've created. So if you enjoy those, then you might enjoy the like full version of the course. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 if they've made an adventure course, a par 3 course, and the regular course off of the same plot. Alright, so this is gonna start braking. And it hits the hill, it is going down, and I think it just needs quite a bit more, maybe a tap. Still too low. Oh no, picked up speed. Yep, still too low. There, for a split second, I thought maybe it's gonna have enough straight line speed there to find the way in for an eagle. Decent putt though. Definitely starting to see those putts a lot more outside, which makes me very happy. So that's been the biggest struggle, I think, on the greens has been just, like, we missed low, but the amount low that we've been missing and all that sort of thing has just really been getting us in a bad way. Like, you just lose way too many strokes. All right. Downhill. Lots of wind taking us. And then back up the hill. Played a little bit too short. I took a little bit off because I thought it was a little bit further up or it would get a bigger bounce. Needed to just play that one on its stock spot, so to say. Not terrible. I mean, we have an okay-ish look here at birdie. It's just getting the amount of break right. Ooh. There we go. I cannot overstate how happy I am right now with the way the putting has been. Yes, we've been missing some stuff, but like the way that we putted on True Sim, everything really feel like putting's going in the right direction at the moment. I think it carries down about here, which probably need to put loft on it or else it's gonna just go way too far. Very slow is not what I needed because I'm trying to play that way over to the left because once it gets on the green, too much loft. It releases left to right. Also, if you guys lose me, my power went out because I can hear. I don't know if the mic's picking up any of it or if it's doing its job and keeping it muted, but yeah, there be thunder. There be thunder. Just saw lightning through the blinds. It's nice knowing y'all. I think it's gonna turn quite a bit in that last little stretch. I pushed it to the right, which doesn't make me too thrilled. I was under power though. The right didn't matter at the end of that all. Like, we're gonna miss that low either way. I don't know if the wind turning here is benefiting us or not. I feel like it's almost a detriment that it's turning so much to the side, because it completely changes our angle of attack. And also, like, how far this gets. Just a little bit of D-loft, I guess. But now the wind's turning again. So a little bit inside and just a little bit of D-loft, not quite as much. Big bounce forward, go in the hole. It's not gonna roll enough. Not bad though. Yeah, not really the most simple of things when the wind starts to rotate. At least we caught it. But like if we play the D-loft to where I was gonna play the D-loft initially, I think we would have been okay. Alright, we kind of screwed the pooch on this one last time, so... I think ideally if we can play it out into here and get a wedge. Yeah, because I went for the green last time and we hold out. But like, I'm not really gonna hold my breath and think that we're gonna hole out back to back. It's just a very unrealistic outlook on the situation. 91. So we lose 1 yard from that. 12 mile an hour wind, diagonal.